we'd like to welcome you all, thank you all for coming here tonight in this dark chapter of the pages of the book that is Rupture Farms. There have been some rumors going about of some sort of savior? Some sort of savior that recently escaped our facility. It's true, someone did escape Rupture Farms, much to our chagrin. Unfortunately, he is not the savior you know. Quite frankly, I don't know why you need a savior. I think we do a pretty good job giving you all of the benefits that a worker needs, all of the food, the living space, the entertainment, whatever fancies you. I think we've been doing a pretty good job. Quite frankly, I also didn't really want to show you this, or I should be more precise. The Magog cartel, which has secured this footage from our security cameras, did not want to show you this. However, under the orders of Moloch, as you know, all of our bosses, he thought it would be for your benefit to see what this Abe has been doing, the so-called savior. This is unedited, raw footage that we've obtained. Nothing has been changed here. This is what he has been really doing. It's true, he has been killing our workers, as you may have seen, our slig guards that have been doing a very, very good job of keeping everything intact, of making sure everything runs well. But I guess some people just can't appreciate what we do for them. For those of you that don't know, Abe was Employee of the Year here. We did award him with that, and we would think that a man such as that would not do things such as this. Keep in mind that our actual slig workers would never, ever beat up any of the Mudokons. It is against our code. And quite certainly, they would never shoot one another, at least not in such cold blood as this. It's true, we have had some incidents, but that is out of our control, not our responsibility, and we do our best to keep everything in line. But back to our original point, it is better to know the truth and see Abe for what he really is, not a savior as you all call him.
Wait, okay.
But a terrorist. To give him some credit, he does not kill everyone. I mean, these two workers, they're Chris and Bob. They're some friends of mine. They only heard about the bomb falling and they heard some suspicious noises, and odd bless them, they reported it, but unfortunately it wasn't in time. They're still working down at the temples now. Moloch wasn't too happy with them, so I suppose indirect casualties resulting from this. But most people are not so lucky. We would like to inform you that in the event that Abe, or as he doesn't really deserve a name, if the terrorist would ever return, if he appears to be welcoming you in such a way as you see here, beckoning you to follow him, we advise you not to do so. The terrorist seems to have, likes to play. He likes to play with his victims, giving them false senses of camaraderie, of brainwashing, propaganda, only to end their lives in such brutal ways. We would like to inform you at this time that and this is also for the benefit of some of the non-Mudokon workers keeping here, our investors, and we love our investors, don't get us wrong, it's what keeps Rupture Farms running somewhat. Our meat grinders are perfectly safe. They are approved by all of the correct organizations. We are not liable for any damage done to them. We inform everyone of their dangers that are present there. Any sort of contact with the grinder will no doubt end in some sort of personal damage. And so we advise everyone to keep in mind that. We also advise to keep in mind our various explosives, the bombs, and also the mines that are littered around the facility. Keep in mind that these originally exist to get rid of vermin, such as slurgs and rats. They are a bit of a problem, and we will admit to that full front, but we have also informed everyone full well that these should not be trifled with. The birds, too, they are for the birds that you see flying around here.
Hello. Hello, follow me. Okay.
We understand that sometimes the bombs might be a little too easy to obtain. In light of these recent events, we are far more than aware of that happening. Quite frankly, these two fellows, I have their papers right here, let me see. Lewis and what's this name here? Larry? They specifically asked for a safe workspace, and we did not intend for them. We don't intend for any of you to get hurt. Unfortunately, they did. We also know that the Slig workers, while our man here did shoot the fellow Mudakin, we do have strict orders not to communicate with each other. This is to keep worker efficiency at the max. Keep in mind, we only enforce this during our very lenient work hours. 12-hour work hours are very lenient. If you've been to Soulstorm Brewery or Fico Depot, you know that those hours can go up to 15. So we don't know why people feel so strongly about things being so different around here, that they should be better. Quite frankly, we've pushed enough to give you the benefit. For what it's worth, at the very least, it seems that the terrorist has absolutely terrible bomb throwing skills. We've reviewed this video several times at this point, and we can't fathom how someone could be so bad at throwing bombs. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Even rookies have proven to be better at such a thing. Again, our man here has also been shot. When we see people working outside of their designated work area, that is grounds to be shot. We don't like to mess around. We want worker efficiency to be good. Now, it is also not our problem if a Mudakin worker simply follows noises from out of nowhere and walks straight into the designated landmines into them. As a matter of fact, the one who just blew up there, I mean, he has been a bit of a troublemaker, which was why he was in that particular lower area in the first place. I suppose that doesn't exclusively exclude him from being murdered. I know he has some friends, there are some friends and family among us that have been related to him, but it is just once again more proof to the fact that the terrorist is cause of all this, and if only he wasn't involved in messing with our affairs, no one would get shot, no one would explode. It's simply a big mess, and again, we do apologize for these bombs being so accessible because we don't understand how it works. Now, perhaps this is the most terrifying of what's going on here. To be fair, we don't fully understand the magic of the Mudakins, or at least some sort of wizardry that the terrorist has. It seems that he has the ability to reset time upon any sort of trouble that he goes into. We will try to research this more fully. We may have some more experts on the matter, but it seems like no matter what, he'll just go through the similar motions all over again. For your benefit, we have sped up this clip because we know as it is, it's already very difficult to watch. We have been considering increasing our anti-chant load around the facility. we've seen that the possessions of our workers, that is, the terrorists invading the minds of these overworked, sleepless guards voluntarily, not on our insistence, they just love their job so much. They get possessed and then, like so, and then they can't exactly do anything about it. Do expect in the future hours to be working more under the seeing eye of our machines. Remember, it's for your safety.
Oops.
We would like to inform you that that Slig in particular is also one of our least good shooters, which is why we send him back there. In retrospect, that may have been a bad idea. Now, we do advise for some of the more squeamish viewers to look away here, because while we have seen some quite grotesque stuff over this security footage, we do believe this is perhaps the most vile, just in terms of the lack of morality and the trickery involved. We've seen this sort of thing being used through other security footage. That lever was originally meant to not be working, but it seems that there has been a glitch in the system, and that one particular worker has been crushed by the carcasses. Unfortunately, I wish that was what I was talking about.
Hello, follow me. Okay.
Some of our grinders are employee activated instead of automatic. It is true. This is done to save some energy that may otherwise be wasted, and to take care of particularly large loads that need to be chopped up, because sometimes the automatic grinders, they get a little dull around the corners and they can't cut as efficiently. These more manual shredders, grinders, whatever you would call them, I'm not sure what I would call them, I just work in HR, they're just sharper and they're better for work. What we never anticipated in the use of these grinders is for actual employees to be chopped up. Keep in mind, we will never, ever consider you for such a thing, and the thought, quite frankly, is disgusting. But it seems like to the terrorist here, such things are not taboo, and in his incredibly terrible sense of humor, has thought it to be funny to round up the cattle, as some would say. I'm not sure what a cattle is, but it probably refers to something. Round up the meeps? Oh right, the meeps. I forgot about the meeps. Round up the meeps. We don't do meeps here, do we? No. No, meeps are like really far away. I know what meeps are. They're just really far, okay? I think another Rupture Farms works in them. We're like scraps. Okay. Okay. Unfortunately, back... Sorry about that. Things get a little confusing. We have a lot of facilities in the workplace right now. There's like at least 1,000 of them, and things get a little overwhelming. This takes on long enough that we do speed it up. We don't want to draw this out for you. We just want to get through this as quickly as possible, because otherwise the tension just might overwhelm you. Through the speed up process, the recordings did go through some glitches. If you noticed that, please try to ignore.
Wait.
Now you might want to look away. If you can, I advise you to look back over this footage, as it will be publicly available through your domes, through your televisions, in your living quarters. I want you to look over that and see the complete lack for Mudakan life there. See how much this savior cares about you. How much he cares about you getting chopped up into bits! Into bits. He's still bad at throwing bombs, though. Regardless of his hilarious ineptitude, we once again cannot excuse such behavior. We will be upping security, not only in Rupture Farms, but in the surrounding stockyard areas. We can't allow for something like this to happen again. As you can see, everyone suffers. You may know that, and I do not want to shock you here, some of our supply has been getting low, and such a blowback to our product, as our product will suffer from this. We simply can't afford it. We apologize for any sort of, how should I say this, inconvenience this will cause you. We may need to move some work areas around. Our numbers are thin. We are below 80 workers at this point, and that's not for a factory such as this. That's unfortunately not so much. And we will have increased security as well. Luckily, we do have more sligs. Unfortunately, sligs simply can't do the jobs that the Mudokons can do, so I think you guys will be able to understand if you can just bear the brunt of some of the work. Keep in mind, we will catch the terrorist. The product will soon be back in its appropriate place, and odd willing once again, everything will be back to normal within a month's time.
Follow me. Okay.
We were quite shocked when we saw this happen, because we thought, especially at the very least, these three chaps wouldn't be bothered. They are working in one of the more secluded areas of the room. They are some of the older workers, actually. They were almost retired. They only had 2 months till retirement. But I suppose that just won't be happening for them. You can go back to your rooms. At this point, I believe all that needs to be said has been said. We have given you some complimentary pear mai pies for dinner, some extra ones, as we know this has taken some time away from your work, and you will need to make up that work, so at the very least eat up and get some rest, because you'll need it for tomorrow. I'll tell you that much right now. Keep your eyes peeled, because the terrorist could be attacking you at any moment. We love you at Rupture Farms. The Magog Cartel loves you. Stay safe.